Hello and welcome. Up to this point, we have worked on visual representation of the data, importing the data, filtering, and using other elements like the parameter sets. And we can move further to show how to represent the data we have, or the visualization in a more detailed version. Dashboards are created by clicking on this. We can click on new dashboard, and there we go. We have a dashboard showing all the charts that we have, that is all the worksheets that we have in our data. That's how we create a dashboard. Alternatively, we can move to dashboard and say that we want a new dashboard. There we go. A dashboard has three main parts, that is panels. We have this panel showing the dashboards and the layouts. Then we have the actual space for the dashboard. And at the top, we have the menus to customize our dashboard. Under the dashboard area, we can specify whether we want the default size or the font size or the device preview. In this case, this is default preview. We can change this to generic monitor. We can further change this to tablets and then font. Let's have the default, or let's work with the monitor. 1920 by 1080p. We can also customize this to change the size of the monitor we are working with. Let's work with 1920 by 1080p at the moment. And we can also change the size of our dashboard under this. Then we have the worksheets that we can work with in this by dragging them and dropping them into the dashboard. And we have other objects like the containers. We can import data, we can add images, and even web pages. You'll notice that under objects, we can have them tiled or floating. Let's work with the floating objects because we can reshape and resize them as we wish. Drag and drop the fields that we want to show. That is the worksheets that we are interested in. That's the easiest way, and that's how we work with dashboards. However, you'll notice that in some cases we need containers, but like using containers, and with the containers we can resize them and have the dashboard well formatted. And let's have cells, and we can also let's say the scatter plot. In some cases, you'll see that the formatting may be a little off. We just click on go back to the specific sheet that we want to change. We can change the size to, let's say, 12 to accommodate, to give us some space in the dashboard. Then we can go back to the dashboard, and there you go. We can also edit this by clicking on go to the sheet or the worksheet. Then we can change these to specific values that matches our dashboard. Then if you come back, notice now they fit better. And these two are in the same, if you look closely, they are in the same container. Let's specify the size that we are interested in. Let's see, let's have this as automatic. We can have the map at the bottom showing different regions. Let's remove this. We don't need this. For the filter, let's remove that too. Let's have a different worksheet. That is the one with the area chart, and place it at the bottom to show cells over time. And we can also go back and format these. We can edit the axis, not like so. Or we can also remove the headers. Let's remove the meshes. There we go. That's basically how we add details into a dashboard. We can always format this by showing the filters, and we can use this as filter or this By hitting on the filter, it means that the information in this will be used to change information in the other charts. As you can see now, we are using this as filter, and whenever we select a specific region or state, we have sales and profit from that specific state. We can remove that and go back to the normal, and we can also show filter by region. Let's see, let's change this to drop down. Let's change this and move it at the top. Now we can always change the region that we want to show, and you'll notice that it doesn't affect the other sheet because we haven't set this to do. And there you go. Now it will affect all the other regions because we have specified that what we want. And when you select a specific region, let's say East, you can see the map of East, it will affect all the other worksheet. That is all the other charts in our dashboard. Note that our dashboard are supposed to be well formatted. We'll look at this later on when we are covering the capstone project and real world use of dashboard. We have a last option at the end of this. We have the stories. We can create a new story, and using this story is always, it's about the presentation of data to executive in a more format, in a better way. Under stories, we can add different details. We can add both the worksheets and the dashboard to show or illustrate our data. Furthermore, we can add text that summarizes the data. For example, we can have the donor chart here, and it will be well represented. Then we can have some text. We can have some text here that explains what this shows, and the text can be formatted to fit on whichever regions that we want them to fit. And that's it for stories. Notice a single workbook can have several dashboards. We can have several dashboards. We'll look at this later on in the capstone project.